Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty exciting, I think, especially for anyone in sales. It's this idea, this possibility of instantly making any salesperson a real product expert.
Yeah, imagine that power. Equipping everyone, your whole sales ecosystem, with deep knowledge right away.
Exactly. It boosts confidence, drives better results.
Yeah.
It feels transformative.
And we've been digging into a specific AI solution aiming to do just that. We've looked at how it works, who it's for, the potential impact.
We have some good material here. There's the public stuff from their website, ProductExpert.xyz, and also an internal document, a product requirements document, where they call it agentic expert sometimes, maybe hinting at its proactive nature.
Could be. Yeah, it suggests it does more than just answer questions passively.
So our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out how this AI product expert works, who really benefits, and what kind of ripples this could cause in the sales world. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely, let's do it. So the core idea behind ProductExpert.xyz is an AI-powered voice agent. Think of it like having a vendor-trained specialist, always there, always ready, and always current with the latest product info.
Okay, so it's more dynamic than just, digging through old PDFs or hoping the FAQ got updated.
Exactly. The landing page breaks it down into about 4 key steps. First, you connect your product catalogs. It syncs automatically with your docs, your knowledge bases, everything.
Right. Automatic sync. That alone sounds like it gets rid of a huge headache. Manual updates take forever.
They really do. So that's step 1, connecting the knowledge.
Okay, what's next?
Step 2 is customization. You can tailor the AI for your specific brands, maybe different product lines, even the sales channels you use.
So the advice it gives is actually relevant to the situation, not just generic stuff.
Precisely. That context is crucial in a real sales conversation, isn't it?
Definitely. And step 3?
Deployment. This AI isn't stuck in one place. It's meant to plug into your existing sales world. So chat platforms, voice calls, your CRM, partner portals, and importantly, you can actually join live customer calls and meetings.
Okay, hold on. That's the really interesting part. An AI in the meeting. How does that work?
Yeah, the PRD goes into more detail there. You can invite it to Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, just using a regular email invite or a link.
Seriously, like inviting a colleague.
Pretty much. Or it can be conferenced into a standard phone call. The idea is to have that expert intelligence right there in the moment you need it most.
Wow. I can see that being invaluable when that super specific technical question pops up and the salesperson is maybe drawing a blank.
Exactly. It bridges that knowledge gap instantly.
Okay. And what's the final step in how it works?
Continuous learning. The system keeps updating itself. New product releases, changes in messaging, even learning from interactions. So the knowledge stays fresh without you constantly having to manually feed it information.
Always on, always learning, always available. Okay. So who benefits most from this kind of AI expert?
Well, both the website and the internal doc highlight a few key groups. First up, vendors and distributors, especially those managing, really complex or large product portfolios. They can cut down on enablement costs and ensure everyone's saying the same accurate thing across all channels.
That makes total sense. Keeping hundreds of products straight across dozens of partners must be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. Then you've got channel partners and VARs, value-added resellers. They often need that instant product expertise to answer customer questions on the spot, right?
Yeah, they're on the front lines.
And the PRD actually sets a target, a 20% increase in partner-led sales in the first year.
20%! That's ambitious. Shows they really believe it empowers those partners.
It's a strong indicator, yeah. Suggests they see real value there.
Okay, who else is on the list?
The sales and pre-sales teams themselves, obviously. They should be able to close deals faster and walk into calls feeling more confident, knowing they have this backup. Plus, it's supposed to reduce some of that manual admin work, note-taking, summarizing calls.
Less admin for reps. Always a popular idea.
Definitely. And finally, think about MSPs, managed service providers, or just large global companies. They can scale up their training and knowledge sharing without necessarily scaling up the cost. Consistent expertise everywhere.
Okay, that paints a clear picture of the beneficiaries. Now let's get into the specifics. What can Product Expert actually do? What are the key features?
Right. The foundation is what they call the AI Product Expert agents. These aren't simple chatbots. They're designed to give really nuanced context-aware answers, accurate answers to both sales questions and technical ones.
And available anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. 24/7 availability. Supports global teams, different time zones, different channels.
That live call and meeting integration is the one that really jumps out, though. Can you tell us a bit more about how that functions?
Sure. So it gets invited via a calendar invite. Pretty standard stuff. The PRD mentions that when it joins, it actually announces itself, says who it is, and covers the privacy terms, which is important, right? Transparency.
So definitely important. You need to know who's listening.
Right. And during the call, it listens actively. It can answer questions asked directly to it. But it can also apparently ask clarifying questions if needed to make sure it understands the customer's requirements properly.
So it's not just passive. It can interact like a real participant.
That seems to be the goal. And it's not just voice, right? You mentioned seamless CRM and workflow integration.
Yes, the landing page mentions that.
Okay, so the PRD clarifies that initially, the super deep, right directly into your CRM type of integration might not be there day one. It's a non-goal for the initial release. But it can generate outputs, like downloadable reports or email-ready summaries after the call, things you can easily copy into Salesforce or HubSpot.
Ah, okay, so it works with existing tools, even if it's not fully embedded right away.
That seems to be the plan. Make it easy to adopt. Another big one is automatic content sync. This means the AI is always pulling from the latest product docs, the newest knowledge base articles, real-time updates.
So no more worrying if the AI is using specs from 6 months ago. Crucial in tech.
Absolutely. And what if you have multiple brands or sell in different countries?
Good question.
That's where multi-brand and multi-region support comes in. You configure it so the expertise is tailored, relevant to that specific channel or product line or country.
Highly specific, localized support. Okay. What about after the call ends? Does the AI just vanish?
No, not at all. The PRD highlights summarization and output generation as a key feature. After the conversation, it can create structured summaries, capturing things like customer needs, the pain points discussed, solutions proposed, next steps. It can even draft follow-up emails or outline a proposal.
Wow, that could save sales reps a ton of time on post-call admin.
And they're aiming high. The business goals in the PRD mention a target of over 90% accuracy for those generated outputs.
90% accuracy on summaries and draft emails? That's impressive if they can hit it.
It would be incredibly valuable.
Right.
And it doesn't stop there. There's also analytics and insights. This lets the organization track how the agent's being used, see what questions keep coming up, spot knowledge gaps in the teams, and measure the ROI.
Data. Always need the data to see what's working. You mentioned earlier it could ask questions. The PRD called it context-based interjections.
Yeah, that's right. So it's not just waiting passively. If the conversation seems unclear about the customer's needs, the AI might proactively ask a question to clarify.
Like a good sales engineer would, stepping in to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly that kind of role. And speaking of understanding the customer, the PRD also mentions sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis, how does that fit in?
It gets included in the post-call summary, gives the sales team a sense of the customer's overall mood or reaction during the call.
Ah, so you get a feel for how well the call landed. Beyond just the facts discussed, that's quite subtle.
It is. Could be very useful for planning the next interaction.
Makes sense.
Then there's customizable agent personas. You can apparently tailor the AI's style, maybe make it specific to a product line or a customer segment.
Interesting. So it doesn't sound robotic or generic.
Hopefully not. And for the more advanced users, there are power user features, like priming the agent before a meeting with specific prompts or the agenda.
So you can kind of steer its focus.
Yeah, make sure it's ready for the key topics. It really sounds like a comprehensive toolkit for sales.
It does. Okay, let's tie this back to the big picture. What are the main business benefits all these features aim to deliver?
Well, the landing page and the PRD goals are pretty clear. Number one, faster deal cycles. By getting answers quickly, removing delays, the target is to cut the sales cycle duration by at least 20%.
20% faster deals, that's significant. Speed wins deals.
Absolutely. Another major one is lower training costs. If you have this expert on demand, you spend less on traditional onboarding and ongoing training. The goal mentioned is a 30% reduction in pre-sales enablement costs.
Yeah, 30% savings on enablement. That's huge.
It really is. Then there's consistent, accurate messaging. Because the AI uses the latest approved info, you reduce the risk of mis-selling or giving out old details. Builds trust.
Consistency is key for brand reputation, too.
Definitely. And that leads to happier, more confident sellers. When your team feels equipped and supported, they perform better, they feel better about their work.
Makes sense. Empowered sellers are effective sellers. What about larger organizations?
Global scalability. You can deliver that same level of expertise to every partner, every rep, anywhere in the world. Break down those knowledge silos.
Right. Consistency across the globe.
And like we mentioned with that 20% goal, it should drive increased partner-led sales conversion rates. And finally, just reducing the burden of manual note-taking and admin tasks, freeing up reps to actually sell.
It really paints this compelling vision: efficiency, effectiveness, confidence. The sources also give some concrete examples, right? Use cases.
Yeah, they do. Like using it for live solution scoping during a customer call, getting technical details, configuring products right there, or channel partner support across time zones. Partners get answers whenever they need them.
Okay.
Also onboarding new reps much faster. They tap into the AI instead of waiting weeks for training.
That could make a huge difference to ramp up time.
Big time. And supporting product launches or portfolio updates instantly, getting the new info out immediately, and just generally empowering non-expert sales teams to handle those tricky technical questions.
The PRD had that specific story, didn't it? About Maya.
Yes, the narrative about Maya, a channel rep using Microsoft Expert. She uses it during a call, handles technical questions smoothly, and it helps generate the follow-up stuff afterwards. It really makes it tangible, how it would work day to day.
It does. So this clearly feels like a step beyond the chatbots we're used to. The FAQ talks about differentiation.
Right. The key difference is the AI itself.
Yeah.
It's advanced, it's context-aware, it's aiming for expert-level answers, not just simple keyword matching. And it works in real time across voice, chat, and live meetings.
Right.
Plus, it's purpose-built for complex tech sales, complex products. The PRD explicitly says it's not a generic open-domain chatbot. That's a non-goal.
And the live participation piece.
Exactly. The ability to join calls as a voice agent and actively participate. That's a core functional requirement and a big differentiator.
Okay. And how does it keep all that expert knowledge current? We touched on sync, but how reliable is it?
It stays up to date through that automatic sync with product docs, releases, knowledge bases. Updates are meant to be near instant. And there's continuous auto-training mentioned in the product strategy. Using vendor data, partner training materials, it's designed to keep learning.
Data security must be a big question for potential customers. What's the story there?
Yeah, crucial point. The FAQ and the PRD's technical sections stress data security. They talk about following industry best practices. Things like secure storage, encryption, isolating data between users and organizations, GDPR and SOC2 compliance are mentioned.
Okay, standard but important checkboxes.
And importantly, they state that explicit consent is collected before it processes any meeting data.
Right. So how hard is it to get this thing up and running? Is it a massive implementation project?
They claim it's pretty fast. The FAQ suggests getting started is quick. Most customers live in days, not months.
Days. That's fast for enterprise software.
Yeah, sounds like a smooth deployment is a goal. It uses a simple invite widget with calendar integration or maybe dedicated dial-in numbers. And there's an onboarding tour for new users to show them the ropes, how to invite the agent, etc.
Makes sense. And once it's running, what kind of analytics do you actually get?
The platform provides detailed insights. You can see usage patterns, what questions are being asked, identify content gaps, and crucially, track the ROI. See the impact it's having on enablement and sales.
Okay. And the money side, how do they bill for this?
The PRD suggests it's mainly consumption-based. You pay based on active agent minutes. There might also be different agent types or bundles offered eventually.
Pay for what you use. Okay. Looking ahead then, what's the future vision? Where could this go next?
The PRD and some early ideas mention some interesting possibilities, like uploading and analyzing transcripts from meetings the AI didn't attend to find insights.
Oh, interesting. Post hoc analysis.
Yeah. Or uploading RFPs or customer documents to get help automatically generating proposals.
Yeah, it could be powerful.
Also, bulk data import for partner-specific training using CSVs. Deeper CRM integrations, obviously. Multilingual support is on the radar. And even developing pre-packaged agent packs for specific industries like finance or healthcare.
Lots of potential directions. It sounds like a platform designed to grow. So, wrapping this up for you, our listener, the learner, what does this all mean?
Well, it really points towards instant access to deep product knowledge, something that could simplify really complex sales processes and ultimately make you feel much more empowered, more confident in those critical customer conversations. Imagine having that expert backup instantly, every single time.
Yeah. So the core idea here with ProductExpert.xyz, it's about closing that knowledge gap in sales channels, using AI to deliver expert knowledge whenever and wherever it's needed right inside the workflow.
Exactly. And it leaves us with a pretty big question to ponder, doesn't it? How might this kind of instant expert-level knowledge fundamentally change not just sales calls, but maybe the whole structure of sales teams down the line?
That's a fascinating thought, something for you to definitely chew on as you think about the future of sales and AI.